to Metal Riffs TV. You're with Dystopica tonight, and I am Lethal X, and we are going to be talking to the entire band. We have everybody here. We have Becky, the vocalist. We have Rob on guitar. We have Lucas, who does bass, and we have Ham on drums. So, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good. How are
Good.
you?
Doing
So,
good.
obviously, we're going to talk about your new album, The Semblance of Order. It's got 7 tracks on it. And I just kind of want to jump right into that process and kind of take it song by song because we start off with Obsession. And that song is kind of a really good lead in for the rest of the album, I believe. How do we come up with the lyrics and how do we come up with putting that all together? Is there one writer in the band? Is there a collaboration that goes on? Because everybody does things quite different among band to band. And I don't know who wants to take off first.
So I am the main songwriter of the band. I'm the songwriter. I write all the music, the lyrics, and then I send them the sheet music. We come together, rehearse it, and record it, and that's when the songs come to life. And basically, when I write all the songs, I start with like either a vocal melody idea or a guitar riff, and then I build off of that. And then I'll add lyrics later. Usually I start with the music. Sometimes I'll start with both music and lyrics at the same time, like if it pops in my head. But even when I don't start with the lyrics, I'll have some sort of theme or emotion to go with it that kind of like determines what the lyrics will be for the song. So usually I'll start like with a guitar riff, vocal melody. I think of it. Something I don't like sit like over a song right today with that. I just like randomly think of it whenever, and then I'm like I gotta go record it and then write it out later in sheet music, and that's where I'll build off of it. But anyway, I actually because I'm not a good guitarist, I'll actually play out the guitar riffs like on keyboard for myself to remember, and then I'll write it in sheet music. And yeah, I send it to everybody. We rehearse, record. Um, if anyone else wants to add to that about the process.
Yeah, I was gonna say as far as once everything's written down, it usually it's in MuseScore, which is a music composition program. So it gets sent to all of us. We all listen to it. We all take a look at it. And usually for the guitar parts, sometimes I end up going in, fixing a few things here and there, just to make it so that
Like more playable, because like
that it's
I'm not
playable on guitar.
like I'm not a guitarist myself. I mean, I am getting better at like I know how to read tab and stuff, but like I sometimes I won't because I don't play it. Like I'll put like the fingering where the note was on a string when it should be easier to be played on a different string. So Rob will like sometimes adjust that to make it playable. And we have
Yep,
a couple songs on here that were a little weird in the tab.
yep. And what usually ends up happening is once I once everything is kind of arranged and everything looks good, then we take it to the studio, and then even sometimes there we end up fixing it, or we end up doing something else to it. Because our producer Nick, he always has a lot of input, so a lot of great input too. So any suggestion he makes is always welcome, and it's pretty awesome what he often suggests.
Yeah. He's amazing. We work with Nick Belmore in his studios in Milford, Connecticut, and we've been working with him since the first EP. He just understands where the sound that we're looking for, and he just makes it happen.
You've got a really cool sound. And I think this album's a little heavier than some of your other stuff. But one of the things I'm going to talk about is your vocals. Obviously, that's something everybody talks about, and it sounds like you're classically trained, possibly, and so
I
forth.
am.
But I would think if we were to take and do you as a female version and then look at somebody like King Diamond, the way the vocals are, except you got a growl, which is kind of cool because the way you do that, you'll be all of a sudden a high pitch and then, and it's really kind of fun, I think. So is that something you developed more for this album, or is it something you've just kind of?
That's something I've been developing. I'm classically trained. I started with classical music. I've been singing for many years, and I actually did my undergrad in classical performance for voice. I've sung in like operas and stuff like through my college. And then like I've also been doing metal. Um, so I mean I like to incorporate my operatic singing into the songs, and I've been doing more of that starting with the album Infinite Reflection. Prior to that, I've been doing like the gritty like type of metal singing, which is where I originally started with adding distortion to my voice, just doing like the like like pitched like false chord like gritty distortion, and then from there I worked on my high screams, started incorporating more of that, and then I'm just the more I've been singing like low with distortion, I've just been developing my growl, and it came out, and that happened with the Infinite Reflection album. As we were kind of in the process of doing that, I was just getting better with growling and added that on that album, and I'm like, I'm just gonna add more on this EP. I love it. It's fun to do. I love doing different vocal styles. So yeah,
So I believe it would probably get pretty boring, just singing one way the whole way through. Like a lot of bands will do that. It's just
I don't like
or-
that. I
yeah.
like I
And
like
so
changing it up.
so mixing it up, changing up some of your voice inflection and all that type of stuff within your songs is what makes it kind of interesting because the first time you hear the song, you don't know where you're going to do that. So you start off like a real an opera style voice in the semblance of an order, I would
Yeah.
say. It's kind of got that little tone a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just starts changing and migrating and doing those types of things, which is kind of fun, and it's a little bit different than a lot of other bands. 'Cause yes, there's a lot of female singers out there, and I've heard a lot of them that will literally just do the growl stuff most of the way through, and you don't even know that's a female sometimes right away until you actually see them in a video or something. But going back to the album, like this curse, what's that song about?
So it's basically about breaking free from like a cycle or something that's like weighing you down, and instead of running away from your issues, facing them and just breaking the curse. That's what it's about. Um yeah, that song is I love that song. It's probably my favorite off the EP. That and A Semblance of Order are both my favorites. I love the doing the that one live, this curse, like the growling, the singing. It's so fun.
Wanted to reach out to him just for a minute because how many heads do you go through in a show? I mean, he is a heavy hitter on the drums.
So I am very grateful to Evan's Drum Heads and ProMark Drumsticks. ProMark Drumsticks, they get me through the entire show. Really, I go through maybe one or two pairs a night. Nothing crazy. Drum heads, I will keep the same set of drum heads. I'm a very heavy hitter. You see that in all the videos. I've had the same set of drum heads since we recorded back in a few months ago. It's probably been 8 or 9 months at this point. They still look absolutely brand new. Evan's UV2s, stand by them all day long.
Because I mean, you're pounding those things in there, and it's obvious when you see you in a video even that you're pounding them. And I know when you guys did the video itself for a semblance, I was reading up on that a little bit that you guys were in a couple different places. Putting that all together, and one of them was a studio, I guess.
Oh, for the
The
the music.
soundstage in the bank.
Oh yeah. We were in like we like I came across this bank, like this old bank that was turned into a video photography studio, and I just thought that'd be so cool to do a music video there. So we were all there, like we were all together, and we filmed in front of the vaults that were pretty much empty. There's nothing in them, but yeah, I just thought it was such a
Chilling,
cool
right?
look. Yeah, it was such a cool look, and it's different. We haven't done anything like that prior.
Do something with some mirrors or something too.
That too. So the whole idea behind it is basically the volts are kind of like what you have locked away in your mind, and then the mirror is like your outer appearance, like Semblance of Order. Everything looks okay, but inside there's like turmoil. So it's kind of like represents the two sides.
So the whole good and bad is maybe going on in somebody's life. It
Yeah.
looks great to everybody else, but inside you're just like a mess. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Um,
Yeah, and that's actually that song that inspired the title of the EP. I just pulled it from the song. I just called the EP Semblance of Order because I feel like that the meaning of that song just kind of sums up the whole EP.
say there's one song that you might um, say is kind of like a ballad, but not really a ballad, and that's The Darkness and the Light. That's
Yes.
probably your slowest song on the album.
Yes, I like to put like one slower one in there or like something to change it up because I don't want all the songs to be like driving heavy, which I love, but then it's like you can't experience the full like force of a heavy song if you don't have like something else in there. So that song was one that I actually wrote years ago, like in 2020. I wrote it for myself to sing and play, and I just kind of had it sitting. I didn't. A lot of these songs, like I'll think of, and then just not like I'll save them, and then decide later like which ones I'm gonna put together for what EP or album. So that one I had saved, and as I started working on what was gonna be on this EP, I just I'm just gonna make this song into a song for us, the band, to do. And I kept my keyboard part in there that I play, and I kept like the vocal melody I originally wrote, but like added harmonies, added all the lyrics, and then just like added the guitars, drums, made it into a metal song. Like kind of, I guess it's like kind of like a ballad. It's not like our the Dent in My Life, which I would say is like definitely a ballad, but this is kind of like I guess it could be a power ballad as well. Yeah.
And, anything to add to this, Lucas? This
Not
conversation that we
really. Yeah, I was gonna say in terms of, our songwriting process and whatnot too. So I know Rob mentioned about how he modifies where things see fit for the guitar parts. One thing I'll throw in there is I basically kind of write my bass parts off of what Ham or drummer or what he does rhythmically, so that way things can rhythmically make sense and lock in for the music as a whole to drive. And that's really, having a good solid foundation from this is just from my 17 plus years of playing bass. Really it's the solid foundation that you have that me and Ham have is what really makes these songs, drive forward, because at the end of the day it's all about the foundation within the rhythm section of the music. So yeah.
and the bass helps complement the drums anyway because they're
Yeah.
both that sound that kind of go together, and they need to match and they need to be synchronized and they need to flow so everything you know it cements together. So when he lays his
Yeah.
guitar riff over it, it's going to be hey, that's good. And then when she comes back and lays her vocal tracks on it, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And so,
yeah.
I mean, I know the album is been out for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
a little
then
over like a month now. It's crazy. Time's flying by.
yeah, and there's some really really good songs on here. I think, and it's like I don't know, how fans from the past are going to react to this one, but I think it's going to be positive, honestly, because I listen to all kinds of music, and then when I heard this, I'm like, wait a minute, this is different. And I like different. And so, because there's so much of the same one thing on the market. It's like the same riffs over and over and over. And the one thing that's kind of cool is that I'm trying to remember which song that was. Was it Soul Suppression? One of them where it's like a lot of heavy driving, like just pounding on the guitar, right? It's like chugging away. And then there's like this little faint little solo piece overlapping somewhere. And I'm trying to remember which song that was
Probably
exactly.
Soul Suppression with the
Might
intro
be
where it's like and it's like
Might
the
be it.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
so all of a sudden you're just like in the back, and you're like, what? And it's just kind of out of nowhere. It kind of comes in, it seems like, but it fits. And it kind
Yeah,
of, again, it's the emotional trip, I think, when you're listening to the music and it kind of goes, and when it's unexpected and you hit that riff, that it just like catches you a little bit off guard, which is a good thing, in my
yeah.
opinion. Um, and so, are you guys doing any shows anywhere? Are you doing any touring
Yeah, well,
coming
right
up?
now we're hoping for a tour next year. Right now, as a newer band, it's hard touring and just like taking a whole week off of work and stuff. So we're doing weekend like shows. We have a show on October 25th, and it's gonna be our first show in Maryland, a Halloween show, which will be fun. And we have another show in Salem, Massachusetts on November 15th, and then we'll be back in Connecticut on November 22nd in Bristol. And yeah, we actually will also be in Connecticut coming up this month on October 16th at
So you're
a
getting
children's.
out. You're getting out and about, and that's good. And is there a place people can actually find out the venues and all that kind of stuff where you guys are going to be, and they can make plans to attend?
Yeah, we post all about all our shows on our Facebook and Instagram. So if you follow us, we'll update it with everything we got coming up. And you can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Yeah, we have our merch on Bandcamp. We have T-shirts, physical CDs, all that.
Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it, and I know I saw some live stuff online and stuff like that, and
Thank you.
you guys deliver on stage even.
Oh,
It's not
yes,
just,
we
oh, we did a
do.
studio album and this sounds polished and sounds great, but then you go to the live show and you're like, okay, that doesn't sound like the band I heard. Um,
Yeah, we make sure to deliver it. We also have help joining live on second guitar is Connor Daly. And because on the recordings Rob does both parts, but obviously live, we need somebody else to do that. And instead of using a track, I'd rather have somebody there. So we have Connor. So it's the full five piece.
because there's two guitars in a lot of the songs, you can hear it.
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah.
All the songs I write with two guitars. I mean, my biggest influences as a writer and a musician are just like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. Those are my favorite bands, early heavy metal. So I love the dual guitar riffs. I love solos. So I want to incorporate that into our music. And that's kind of like, I feel like our music has a unique sound of incorporating like classic heavy metal and modern metal, like combining it.
And I guess that's a good way to describe it. Because I know you did a lot of cover stuff, that's all over the internet too. You can find videos about that and stuff, and some Judas Priest and those and Iron Maiden. But there's nothing like two guitars in a band. I mean, it's just you can't do it. I mean, one of my favorite bands, it uses two guitars. Of course, it just had a whole thing that blew up all over the internet because the guitarist and the keyboardist left the band. If you know who I'm talking about, the COF.
Yep.
Um, but I just like theirs because of those guitars, the two in it, the way they put them together. And you guys do a similar thing, which is really, really good. And I think that's also why it sounds a little different when you hear it, because when you have that one person chugging and they're trying to throw a solo in and go back to chugging, it doesn't always flow as nice as it could be as somebody overlaying and matching the note what you're doing. Um, so,
Yeah.
I mean, you got a Testament shirt on, obviously, so you know, you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Um, anything else you guys want to talk about that while we're on here that you want to share with fans or any of those people that might be watching?
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been listening to our new EP and who's been supporting our music. We are so thankful for all of your support and are so happy for the great reception on our new EP, Semblance of Order.
And please, everybody get out to live shows. We love putting on a show. We love meeting people at the merch table. We'll sign anything for you. We'll take pictures with you. We'll love to have conversations. Honestly, the live shows are where it's at. Toad's Place, October 16th. It's going to kick ass. It's going to be a great time. Be there, be square.
I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here out of your busy day, I know. And it's been a pleasure. And if there's anything I can do for you in the future, just, reach out to me and we can do another interview or we can do anything that you guys might want to do or do a special one just on a certain thing that's happening going on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. Definitely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.